record. Okay, sit yourself onto your left and then come into a good cross-legged position. Just find some levelness at the seat bones. Just allow yourself to just find your levelness. Often we're kind of in a rush to get to our kind of precise position, but that doesn't really work, because you might think that you're sitting level, but then you have to just spend a bit of time sitting so that you can really assess whether or not you are level, and then you can adjust. But just find that moment of levelness. Hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest, lift the abdomen up to the diaphragm, up to the collarbone. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Feel the length of the neck. Spend a little time observing. Just be in observational mode. Feel the subtle changes and adjust if necessary. Feel that you come to a perfect state of levelness. In that state of levelness, find the hands, bring them together, bring the palms together, lengthen from your armpits into your elbows, from your elbows into the heels of the hands, from the heels of the hands into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. So spend some time sitting in the seat bones, finding levelness and observing the breath, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Very gently draw your chin down to meet your chest, lifting your chest up to meet your chin. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Just spend a moment just collecting yourself in 3 dimensions, And in breath, raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Just spend a moment to listen to the inhalation, and then with the exhalation, turn to the right side. Draw the abdomen across and the ribs and the shoulders. Be conscious of the turn of the spine, of the body's response to that turn. Keep the seat bones level. Lift the heart area up to the ceiling. Draw the abdomen around to the left. The ribs and the shoulders, keeping the neck soft. Just observing your body's response. Any restriction, any freedom. Change of the balance of the seat bones. And then come back to the center. Take a deep inhalation, elevating the heart area upwards, and with the exhalation, turn to the left. Drawing the abdomen across, the ribs and the shoulders, but staying at the seat bones, observing the balance of the seat bones as you turn. Observing the body's response to the pose. Aiming to slow the thoughts down to the pace of the breath. Come back to the center. Come off your lift and then come down onto your knees. Be on all fours and have your little fingers on the edge of the mat. Stretch the thumbs towards each other. Spread the palms. Bring the feet hip width apart. Feet as wide apart as the mat. And then come up into dog down. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just feel how the physical body feels for you this morning. Observe your balance of action. So we haven't done Adho Mukha Virasana, we've gone straight into dog down. So that feels sometimes a little unusual. So just spend some time in the pose, slowing your thoughts down to the pace of the breath, slowing the breath down so that you observe it, so that every breath becomes a moment. Observe the feeling of the pose. And find balance of action within it. Just be with the breath, be with the physical sensations of the pose. Observe them and categorize them. Keep the hands where they are, keep the feet where they are, swing the hips forwards as you come up into dog, up. Again, just observing the feeling of the pose. Push into the heels really deeply, and then extend the abdomen away from the heels. Lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. And then come back up into dog down. Slow your thoughts to the pace of the breath. Allow yourself to observe the breath. Observe the breath and observe the physical response to the pose. If that physical response to the pose tells you that you need to rest, then do. If it tells you that you just need to adjust so that you're working evenly, then do. Okay, step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position. Bring your feet as wide apart as the mat. Have some blocks for your hands for half uttanasana. Just use the feeling of the feet to know that your feet are wide enough that they're in line with the edge of the mat, that the heels are in contact with the edge of the mat, that the little toes are in contact with the edge of the mat. Tighten the kneecaps, activate the legs like you were doing in dog down. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Raise your arms up. Open the chest. Feel the pose from the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the hips, into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, the palms, the fingertips, the neck, and the head. Keep the chest lifted. Bring your arms down so that the hands come onto the hips. And then try and walk the thumbs towards each other behind you. Working with the pace of the breath, come forwards on an exhalation, keeping the head lifted, like the head is magnetically attracted to the ceiling. Come forwards, hinging at the hips until you're about halfway, and then reach down and find the blocks. Bring the blocks underneath the shoulders. Be precise. Activate the legs in Tadasana. Project the chin and the chest and the abdomen and the ribs away from the thighs. Hit the thighs back so that your weight goes into your heels. If you can go down lower, then do. If you're protecting your back, stay at the higher lift. Just see what your body can do this morning. Listen to the breath. slow your thoughts down to the pace of your breath. If you can go further, just get hold of the heels, but don't lose the extension of the spine. Just drawing the body in, bending your elbows out to the sides, keeping the head lifted. Just feel the body in 3 dimensions, whichever stage of the pose that you feel comfortable to remain in. Just feel the pose from the inside. Keep lengthening the spine, even if you're bringing the chest through the legs. Release the heels if you've got hold. And just come briefly into half uttanasana again. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then walk your hands towards the end of the mat. Bring your hands hip, shoulder width apart this time. And then step the feet back into hip width. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. Slowing the thoughts down to follow the pace of the breath. Just being in the pose. Listening to the pose. Activating and responding to the pose. Turn your left heel in, bring the foot flat onto the floor, and then walk, and then swing your right foot between your feet, between your hands, sorry. Straighten that front leg, bring your right hand onto the hip, right hand onto the hip, onto the shin, sorry that's difficult, and then turn the chest so that you come into trikonasana, and then reach up. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just feel how the pose feels for you. Feel that the feet are in the right place. And correct them if they're not. Feel that you can lift out of the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the hips. So this is a pose we've done many times. But maybe not from dog down. From here we're going to go back down into dog down, so maybe you need to bend that right leg, bring the top hand down onto the big toe side of the foot, bring the other hand onto the little toe side of the foot, and then step yourself back into dog down. Just observing the energy of the pose. Observing the internal balance of action. Turn the right toes in, bring the heel down, and then step forward with that left foot. So making sure that you're nice and wide. Bring the left hand onto the shin, bring the right hand onto the hip, turn the chest, and then reach up. Again, just feeling your way into the pose. We've come into it in an unfamiliar way. So make corrections so that the pose feels more familiar. Bring the top hand down, bend that front leg if you need to. Bring the hands either side of the foot, turn that back heel out, and then step yourself back into dog down. Again, just feeling how the pose is responding for you. Coming back to the pose, reactivating it, feeling it from the inside. So it's a pose we're very familiar with, but does it feel familiar when we come into it in a different way? See if you can bring the heels down, but observe what goes wrong as soon as you do. Just stretching out the calf muscles, but observe those creases at the fronts of the shins. Those are a response to dropping the legs. So then come back up onto the heels until those creases disappear. And then come down onto your knees, sit back on your heels for a moment. Just sit back onto your heels and observe the energy that you've released so far. Stillness of your energy. Listen to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. Draw your chin down to meet the chest, drawing the shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then with an exhalation raise the chin to the ceiling, stretching the front of the neck. And then bring the chin back down, again lengthening out the back of the neck. And then come back to bring the head level. Bring the right ear down to meet the right shoulder. All the time just maintaining the observation of the seat bones. Maintaining the balance of action. Observing if when you bring your head over to the right side, does the right side of the torso, does it shrink in comparison to the other side? Come back to the center and then bring the left ear over towards the left side. Just again observing how that affects the balance of action, the height of the trunk. Try and keep it level. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then bring the head back level. Just sitting back on your heels. Press the shins into the floor. Press the shins into the floor so that the thighs activate, so that the spine activates. Listen to the breath. And then come forward into Adho Mukha Virasana, keeping the seat bones in contact with the heels if you possibly can. Stretching out in line with the mat. And bring the forehead down. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Rotating the upper arms in the sockets so that you're trying to turn the crease of the elbows up to face the ceiling. Giving you space in the neck. Rolling towards the little finger side of the hands, but then stretching the thumbs towards each other at the same time. Just be in the pose with the breath. And then bring the hands underneath your shoulders and then push yourself up into a seated position. So we're going to go into a headstand. If you're not doing a headstand this morning, then do supta baddha konasana. So if you've got eye or ear infections, don't do a headstand. If you've got high or low blood pressure that isn't being controlled with medication, then don't do a headstand. If you're on a period, then avoid doing a headstand for too long. You can do it briefly, just very briefly. Otherwise, use the wall. If you can do it in the middle of the room, then you can do it in the middle of the room, but ideally use a wall behind you. Interlock the fingers, have the hands shoulder width apart, no wider. Lengthen the finger knuckles towards the wall. Keep the cup of the hands open. Stretch the thumbs towards the knuckles. Keep the upper wrist, the upper facing wrist, directly above the lower facing wrist. Press the lower wrist into the floor. Keep the outside edge of the forearms firmly connected to the ground. Draw the chin into the chest. Bring your head into the hands. Push the head into the hands into the head. Come up into like a dog down position with the legs. Push the elbows firmly into the floor and then raise the legs up. Keep the weight off the head by pushing the elbows into the floor, by pushing the forearms into the floor. Observe the breath. Observe the action of the breath. Keep your thoughts in time with the breath. Extend into the legs. Just maintain the observation of your breath. Stay up if you can. Listen to the breath. Working into the heels. Working the heels towards the ceiling, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards. Listening to the breath. Feeling as though you're in tadasana, pushing up into the heels. Pushing from the heels into the elbows. Just listen to the breath. If you come down, then just stay down. Okay, everyone come down and then stretch forward into Adho Mukha Virasana. Be on the fingertips. Just listening to the breath. Press the forehead into the floor. And then push your hands into the floor underneath your shoulders. And then push yourself up. Just sitting back on your heels for a moment. Just observe how your energy has changed. Just listen to the breath. Listening to the in-breath and to the out-breath. And then bring the palms back onto the floor, shoulder width apart. Come back up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come back up into dog down. Observe how it feels different. Maybe each time you come back into dog down, there is a lightness that feels as though the bones have been inflated with energy. Spend a little time in the pose observing the evenness of the action, the evenness of the feeling of the pose. So from here we're going to come into rajakapotasana. You can always come down onto your knees first if this is too strong for you to come into it from dog down. So you just come down onto your knees and then you just follow the rest of the instructions as normal. So if you're doing it from dog down, just bend the right knee and swing the right knee towards the right wrist. Make contact with that right wrist, the right knee, the right foot underneath the left thigh, and then stretch the left leg away. Come up onto the fingertips. Turn that left leg inward, the front of the leg inwards like you're doing Tadasana. So the back of the leg broadens outward so that the hips come level. And then lift up into the chest, feeling the stretch of the abdomen. Keeping that back leg firmly activated in Tadasana action. Turning the front of the thigh inwards. So that the back of the thigh broadens outwards, bringing with it the hip, so that the hips feel level. Bring the palms down, turn the back leg, the toes under of that back leg, walk in a tiny bit, and then step yourself back into dog down or come back onto all fours. Just observe the body's action. Observe for balance of action. So just resetting in dog down. And then swing the right knee, so the left knee this time, the left knee towards the left wrist, so I can get my lefts and rights all over the place this morning. Stretch that right leg away. Come up onto the fingertips. And again, turn that back leg, that right leg, turn the front of the thigh inwards. So that the back of the thigh broadens outwards so that the hips come level. Lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards. breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Bring the palms of the hands flat into the floor. Turn the toes under that back leg, just step in a little and then step yourself back up into top down. Now that we've done the pose on both sides, maybe the pose feels a bit more even again. Bring the heels back down. Just see, maybe this time you can keep the legs lifted a little more. That the creases at the fronts of the shins aren't so intense. Keep lifting the legs, lifting the seat bones, lifting the tailbone. Just lift the heels until those creases disappear. And then come down onto your knees, sit back on your heels. Sit back on your heels and observe your energy. Observe how your energy has changed. So your physical energy and your mental energy. Hinge at the hips, keep the seat bones in connection with the heels if you possibly can, and then come forwards into Adho Mukha Virasana. Observe the breath. Follow the action of the breath. Consciously filling both lungs evenly and emptying them evenly. Filling them from the bottom to the top. Emptying them from the top to the bottom. Keep this pose of Adho Mukha Virasana really firmly activated. Extending into the arms, pushing the palms into the floor, stretching into the fingers. And then just bring your arms just to rest on the sides of the legs in the traditional child's pose. If it becomes too heavy on your head, then consciously extend from the shoulders into the fingertips, just to take some of that weight away. Just pressing the forehead into the floor, the area between the eyebrows, just applying some gentle pressure. It helps to quieten down the brain. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then push yourself up into a seated position, just observe the quietness of the brain that comes from lifting yourself out of a forward bend. And then sitting cross legs. You can sit on a lift or sit directly onto the mat. You can be in half padmasana or full padmasana, or just straightforward swastikasana. Just be in cross legs, holding onto your knees. Draw your attention into the seat bones. Do they need attention? Do you need to move the buttock flesh and the thigh flesh out to the side a little, so that you find levelness at the seat bones? Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down. Just look down at the floor, look at something that doesn't move. So we're going to do 5 brahmaris. So brahmari pranayama is where we hum a low note that resonates in the chest and in the throat and in the sinuses. You hum a low note until the lungs are empty, followed by a normal inhalation, and then a cycle of hummed out breaths, hummed until the lungs are empty. So elevate the heart area to the ceiling, draw in the shoulders down. So you can either close your eyes or keep your eyes focused on something that doesn't move if you're finding it difficult to focus the heart, focus the mind. Just fill the lungs and consciously empty them. And then take a conscious out breath, followed by a conscious in breath, and then we will begin just 5 brahmaris. And then bring the breath back to a normal rhythm. Just normal inhalations, normal exhalations, just feeling the resonance of the practice continuing to resonate. Lift up into the chin. Lift up into the chin, lift up into the chest, into the heart area, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation. And with an exhalation, turn all the way around to the right side, drawing your abdomen across. Your ribs and your shoulders keeping the neck soft. Again, just holding on to that resonance. So for me, I felt when I was doing brahmari this time that there was an imbalance of resonation in the sinuses. One side felt blocked. And brahmari is really good for clearing out the stale air in the sinuses. So after a couple of brahmaris, that resonance felt more even. And now the sinuses feel a little evenly clear. Come back to the center, hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, and then turn to the left. So maybe you felt that resonance shift. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you felt something else. Maybe the sound allowed you to bring quietness to a busy brain. Maybe not. Just leave it behind. Just draw your attention into this precise moment now, feeling the seat bones in contact with the heels, seat bones in contact with the floor even. Sorry, my words are coming out wrong. And then coming back to the center, just feel the body in 3 dimensions. How the body connects to the floor and how the body grows out of the floor. How the body feels balanced at the seat bones. Or correct it if it doesn't. And then just come down onto your back. Just come down into baddha konasana, supta baddha konasana. Let the feet pressed firmly together, let the knees fall apart. Turn the tailbone in, draw the abdomen to the spine. Listen to the breath. Let gravity open up the inner groin, open up the hips. draw your knees together, hold onto the edges of the mat, pull your knees in toward your chest and stretch the legs up into viparita karanhi. Just a gentle inversion just for a moment or two. And then just gently bend your knees, bring the feet onto the floor, just stretch yourself along the centre of the mat. If your head rolls back, put a blanket underneath your head, otherwise just make sure you're in a good straight line and just use the floor just to realign the spine. Just let the body completely relax. Let the muscles in the arms and the legs completely let go. Letting the limbs become heavy on the floor. Observing the lightness that radiates from the bones when you allow the limbs to become heavy. That lightness that penetrates into the muscles and into the organs. Into the flesh and the skin. And then when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. And then bend your knees, bring your knees in towards your chest, just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then gently roll over onto your right side, just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position, just final cross legs with your hands in Namaste, a final spinal lift. Draw the breath in through the nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Be conscious of the positive energy you have created inside and send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And as you raise your head, allow your eyes eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel energised and full of good, positive energy to put into your days. Thank you very much for joining me.